Okay, so we just got this, the CAD work done for this front enclosure. This is a little bit how it looks. This was our original data when we used the ProLiner to take all the measurements on the boat. And then after all of our 3D and 2D work is done, these are obviously our windows, and then these are the pieces that go together to build the windows. This is the bimini top, pocket, etc. So then we bring it over and we just get it ready to go to the plotter. You can see this line and this line just simulate this umbrella width, which is 60 inches wide, just to make sure everything fits on there good. And then this line to this line simulates the 54-inch wide material for our Strata-Glass here. So now we'll come out to the plotter and we'll get this going. So we kind of had to move things around, take a bunch of measurements and figure stuff out. We're trying to use up the last of this material here without having to go into this new roll. So that's what we're doing here. Over here we have the Strata-Glass laying out. I did plot out the first 3 windows because I left this glass out over the weekend, but I didn't have enough material laid out to do all of the windows, so I just laid another sheet out here. So as soon as this canvas is done, we will do the rest of the glass, and then we'll start putting this enclosure together. Okay, so this right here is the perfect example of how our plotter sometimes just has a mind of its own. Over here, it drew these strips first and then labeled them. And here you can see we are just putting a bunch of labels floating in the air. I think if I dug into the software a little further, I could probably figure out why it's doing that. Maybe give it a sequence and tell it what to do first. But, you know, it ain't broke, it works. So we just kind of let it do its thing. And then for instance, you know, it didn't label the bimini yet, and it put this line here, but it didn't add my center line and it didn't add this line. You know, just has a mind of its own, but as long as it gets the job done, we'll just let it keep doing its thing. Now I'm curious if right here I might have a small issue. Like I said, I was kind of piecing all this together, and as you can tell from over here, I don't have any material up here, so I had to figure out where this highest point is on there and if we're gonna have enough material down there. Takes a little bit of figuring out, but if you take your time, you can usually get it right. All right, good morning, everybody. Just got to work. It is 7 o'clock in the morning. And we are gonna finish putting this front job all together for Sue. So yesterday we got the last 2 windows cut out. And all of our material is ready. Over here you can see Sue actually started sewing this front center window. So this just needs to be bound and then zip is put on, Velcro along the top, all that. But this is all sewed together. So the first thing we're gonna do is get our strips ready. We're gonna fold these over to create our nice finished edge for the inside of the window. And then we'll start assembling these. All right, so that's gonna wrap up our day. We got the enclosure put together for Sue to work on while we're gone. We got a couple things to do before we fly out tomorrow morning. So we will see you guys in St. Pete Beach, Florida at the NFA conference. Okay, well, as you see, we're back at the shop. No longer in Florida, just got back last night. I ended up not bringing my camera with me. I was very busy the whole time, lots of educational sessions, and I actually gave a presentation myself, a little bit on photomodeler and photogrammetry. And I've never experienced nervousness like I did that day, but it's behind me and I feel good about it. Had some room for improvement, but overall I think it went pretty good. And I just want to touch base on something. You know, if you're nervous or scared to do something, and just step out of your comfort zone and just give it a shot. Sometimes we don't grow unless we're uncomfortable when we face those things. So just want y'all to keep that in mind. This week we're just finishing up this carpet. This was a gentleman who brought all of his stuff in himself and just wanted us to redo the carpet. He's going to assemble the boat himself, so I really didn't record much of this. I've got pretty much all of it finished over here. Looks nice. So a little bit about back at the conference. Along with giving a presentation, we won a award of excellence on marine exterior upholstery, and it was on the Taiga Z21 that we just did probably a year ago now. So I'll link that in the comments and throw some pictures up right now of that. And yeah, that was all. Next week we're going to be installing a couple of enclosures and some flooring up in Manitowoc and Green Bay. So we will see you guys next week.